do I have news for you. I got all the tea. And beware, cause it's scalding. Hey guys, today's video is going to be a story time video because I endured a very interesting event this weekend. Before I get into my story time, make sure to subscribe. You can hit the button down below. It's completely free to subscribe. That way you'll never miss anything, and I have some awesome videos coming to this channel. Also feel free to hit the little bell thing too, because that way you'll always get notified whenever I upload. And feel free to give this video a thumbs up just because it's a nice thing to do. It would make me really happy. And lastly, let me know any questions that you guys have in the comments down below. In my last video, or the video before then, I talked about me doing a Q&A coming up. I usually do them around the fall time, so I'm just going to be collecting questions that you guys have. But enough of that, we're just going to get into the video. Oh, and yes, I do have a new background. I put this shelf together myself because homegirl don't need a man to do it. I'm testing out different backgrounds in my room as I change my room, so I decided just to do this video here, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so huge disclaimer before I even tell you guys about this experience. I just want you guys to know I'm not bashing King of Prussia Mall at all. I love King of Prussia. It's a really great mall to go to. If you've never been and you live on the East Coast, I would highly recommend planning a trip there. It's beautiful. They have everything you need. It's a great shopping experience, and you'll definitely love it if you like shopping. But I don't hate the mall. I'm not bashing them by any means. So basically, I am a very particularly busy person, and I don't want to say that as a complaint. I tell you guys I'm busy all the time, and I am, but it's my fault because I attach myself to so many different things. Every once in a while I get super stressed out, and those are the times when I'm like, okay, Kerry, you need to like relax. So I had planned on doing that with my mother this past Friday by letting go of all responsibilities and going to King of Prussia. She had never been. I had gone once with my bestie Jasmine, so hey Jasmine if you're watching, and I actually wanted to go this summer with Jasmine and our moms together, and I'm kind of glad that we didn't on this trip because I would have felt even more terrible about what happened. I had planned a trip with my mom, and we were just gonna go have a nice shopping day and just relax and have a good time. The trip started off phenomenal. It was really nice. The mall is a very nice environment. It's a lot better than some of the malls in Maryland, and no shade to my state, I love Maryland, but I don't think we have any malls that are close to King of Prussia. We're shopping, all this kind of stuff, and I know you guys know this. In any mall that you go to, there's always going to be like somebody usually at a stand, not so much a store, that like comes up to you and tries to sell you something, and they're always trying to like play up the fact that like you need this in your life and you're kind of just trying to shop, but they're all up in your face. So that's pretty much how this situation got started, and I am going to tell you guys the name of the company, and the only reason why I'm doing this is because I did my research. I did some research. And I know that our experience, we're not the only people who have experienced this. There have been other experiences similar to this one, but not at this mall, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense once I tell you the story. The company is called Trafore, if they want to be fancy, which they probably do. We were passing by that store. I'd never heard of it. I never noticed it. I honestly didn't even know we were passing by it. But there was an associate there who I'm not going to release his name just because I think that's kind of rude, and I also think it's illegal. I'm not gonna release his name, but he was standing outside the store, and he first approaches us with free samples, which I haven't even opened them yet. He just gave us these little baggies and was like, here you go, here's one for you and one for your sister. This guy had a very thick accent, by the way, which I have nothing against accents. I love accents, they're beautiful. I wish I had one, but that's an important part of this story, which I'll get to later on. So he had a thick accent, and he's talking to me and my mom. Also, another thing is I hate when people try to sell us something and they always call her my sister, because regardless of the age difference of me and my mother does not look like my sister. She is like a shade light 46 in Kat Von D, and I'm like a medium 58. Like, there's a huge difference. You can obviously tell that she's my mother, and it has nothing again to do with age. It just has everything to do with shade, and they still try to play up the whole you're 25, your sister's card, and it's just like, come on, like, you don't have to do that to sell anything. So this guy, he gives us the samples, and he starts talking to my mother because they have this anti-aging mask that you can put around your eyes, and basically what it's supposed to do is tighten up your eye area and give you an eye lift that looks very similar to if you got plastic surgery. Now, here's where my issue started. For those of you guys who don't know, I work at Sephora and I'm a licensed cosmetologist. These are two separate things. It's not like one caused the other. I went to a technical high school where I went for cosmetology and then got licensed, and then at Sephora I also work, and I've been there for almost 2 years. So when it comes to beauty and skincare, I obviously don't know everything because I'm a human being, but I know a lot more than the average person, and I've worked in retail now, so I know how it is to try and sell a product to someone. The thing that I love so much about Sephora is that they train us to really understand our clients and to not try and sell to them as salespeople, but to befriend them. Like, you want to just help your client out. They're in your store to buy something that they wanted and that they feel like they need. So I hate when people are trying to sell anti-aging products to other people. Like, I never try and sell anti-aging products to women who are mature or older unless they express that as a concern, because some people just like to naturally age and just embrace their natural beauty. And my mother's one of those people. She's absolutely beautiful. She's gorgeous inside and out. I don't think she needs anything to cover up or change the way that she looks, and she really doesn't care when it comes to aging. She embraces it. So this guy is like pointing these things out and is like, oh, we can lift your eye area and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, that's rude. First off, like, she never expressed that concern, and I understand that he has certain products that he has to sell, but I just think it's ridiculous. So basically he takes a little serum mask thing and he starts putting it around her eye, and as he's doing this he's asking her like, what else do you use on your face? And of course I'm not gonna let her say her real answer, which is not that much, because if you tell these people that you don't use anything, they're going to try and sell your entire store to them. So I jumped in and I was like, well, I work at Sephora, so I give her the extra things that I use. And he started to kind of belittle the fact that I worked at Sephora. He kept saying that it's like a makeup thing. He's like, oh, so you sell makeup? And I'm like, no, actually we sell skincare as well. He didn't want to hear any of that. So basically he's putting this on her eye and he's like, well, since you work at Sephora, you're going to be our judge. And I will say that what he put on her eye did make a noticeable difference in about 2 minutes. However, the same difference would have been made if you put egg yolk on your face and let it dry and tighten your face in 60 seconds. So who's the judge here? So he put this mask on her eyes and I was like, yeah, you do see a difference. Another thing that kept annoying me was like, he kept talking about the ingredients in the products, but he wouldn't just tell me about them. He would like look at me and be like, well, you know what this is, right? Because I said I worked at Sephora, and I was just like, don't come for me. So he put that on one eye and then he like rinsed it off and put a serum on the other, and by this point he brought us into their little salon area and sat us down. So now we're like stuck in the store. While he's talking, my mom decides to ask him about his accent. So she asked him like, you know, where are you from? And he said that one of his parents was from Chile and the other was some type of Hebrew. He said exactly what it was, I just don't remember. And she asked him if he spoke Spanish, and he said no, he spoke Hebrew. And this guy has a really thick accent. So then she asked him where he was born and raised, and he said Philadelphia, and I didn't really think about it at the time, but she had pointed out afterwards that she knew that it was kind of a scam once he said that he was raised in Philadelphia. I understand that some people might be surrounded by a huge family that have accents because they are directly from a different location. But you shouldn't have that thick of an accent. Like, your accent should be slight, but it shouldn't be that thick. So she was like, he obviously, like, that accent's not real, because if he was born in Philadelphia, if he was in Pennsylvania all of his life, I don't think that he would have such a thick accent, which I didn't notice, but I thought was funny. So at this point, he had put it on both eyes, he was taking it off, and I was just kind of already out of it. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore, and I kept asking my mom too, because he was saying like the stuff is supposed to tighten and all this kind of stuff, but he wasn't really asking her things that you're supposed to when you put things on clients, like, are you allergic to something, or is this comfortable for you? So I was asking those questions because I did feel bad that he was just putting stuff on her. Long story short, he ended up telling us that the product that he was trying to sell us, the egg yolk, basically was $1,200. He made the point too that it was a very important thing for us to invest in, because some women have such bad eye wrinkles that they go blind because they can't see, because their eye droops so much. And I'm just like, why would you even try and tell a client this? Like, why would you use a fear tactic to try and sell a $1,200 vial of egg yolk? So at this point we're like, absolutely not, like, that's way too crazy expensive for anything. He kept also saying like, there's nothing on the market like this, and in my head I'm like, Peter Thomas Roth sells an eye tightener that works just like this for $38, so I think there is. We told him that that was pretty much like too much, like, we're not interested. If you have a store card, you know, you can give us that. And so magically he starts to tell us how that day they're having a deal where even though it's $1,200 normally, he can sell it to us for $399. How can you magically just change the price and sell us the product for 1/3 of its actual cost? I don't understand. And I'm starting to piece together, like, he's probably working on commission, he'll probably make whatever extra money we're willing to give. So we're still like, no, that's too much, like, we're not interested. He then goes to the back and he comes back and he just so magically happens to have one coupon left from the 4th of July that takes 30% extra off of this mask. So now he's saying that we can buy it for $280 and he'll give a serum for free. This almost sounds like we're trying to buy a car at this point, like it's a car salesman tactic. The thing that really frustrated me too is I told him at the end of it, I was like, well, I'm also a licensed cosmetologist in the state of Maryland, so when it comes to skincare and stuff, like, I kind of understand about it because I was, you know, I studied it. And as soon as I mentioned that, he decided to tell me that they have to go through some bioengineering degree in order to work in that store. Who in the world would go through a degree that difficult, get a bioengineering degree just to work in retail? Like, no one does that. And the other guy that was working in his store had no customers because there was no one else there, which also brought me to raise my eyebrows about the coupon, because how do you have one coupon left if nobody shops there? You probably have about 100. The other guy, he ended up looking at my mom's, like, before and after or whatever of what they put on, and once he heard that I worked at Sephora, he, like, rolled his eyes about it too, and I'm just like, don't hate me just because I work at a legitimate retail shop. I will also say that the mask that they put on my mom, like, they said you're supposed to wash it off completely and then put a serum on, which the guy apparently did, and I watched him do it, but it still left like this really weird residue underneath her eyes. So I wouldn't even have recommended getting the product if it was legit anyways, because that shouldn't happen for a $1,200 product that's supposed to be almighty. The thing that really got to me was actually after the experience. He kept telling us while we were there that they have a website and everyone loves them. They're like a #1 skincare type of company. So I decided to look up the website. On the website, I looked up the exact product that he put on my mother, and lo and behold, the product is retailing for $1,200, but it has 7 reviews. More people would be reviewing it. You would see it more on YouTube. More people would be using that instead of plastic surgery, but yet there's 7 reviews on your website and you think somebody's gonna buy this. So then I also looked up more about this company and I found somebody else who did a review on ripoffreport.com. The store that they went to, the girl put the same exact product on this person as they did on my mother, but they told them that it was only $700, and then they tried to barter with them by giving them the employee discount for $189. So I'm pretty sure that this product is less than $189. It's probably around $60 or even less than that, and the people make commission based on how much they can swindle you. I'm usually not negative. I usually don't talk badly about other companies and things like that, and I don't want to seem biased because I work at Sephora, but the fact of the matter is I wanted to post this video because there are people out there who can't afford to shell out $1,200 and who might be impulsive and feel like they need this product, especially if people are telling you that you're gonna go blind without it. We didn't plan on coming back. Like, he said he left at 4 o'clock and he was like, make sure to come back before me so you get your deal, and we were like, okay. We weren't going to regardless, but I ended up actually getting food poisoning that day, so I don't know if it's karma for me being low-key petty. It all kind of hit me at once, and they're not kidding when they say food poisoning hits you at once, and I, like, was not good. So we actually had to leave early, so that day ended up not being a relaxing and enjoyable experience. We did have a really good time before the truffle experience, and in between that and my food poisoning little outbreak. It was just an interesting Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I hope that you guys found it useful. I, again, am not this negative of a person, but I think it's important to share experiences like this so you guys don't have to go through them. If you're new to my channel, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as to give this video a thumbs up, and feel free to check out my social media handles. I mainly post on Snapchat and Instagram, but you can also follow me on Twitter and Tumblr as well. And I will see all of you guys next time. Bye, guys!